So today Mark and I went into the city and we went to the bazaar or open air market, farmer's market you might call it, near the train station, where they have a lot of bulk items where you can buy many kilograms of things. And we bought peaches and blueberries, lemons, sour cherries, just a lot of peppers that I'm going to be using or having the guys use in some of the things that I'm going to conserve. And so when we got home, after we went to a couple of the stores, I got the sour cherries in a big pot on the stove with some sugar in it and boiled them up the first round. And tomorrow morning I'll boil them up again and add more sugar in because they are really sour. Mark had gotten some sweet cherries, and what I've done is I found in the past those little pitters, that you can press, and they just don't work that well at all. And so what I do is I boil up my sweet cherries just enough to make them soft with a little bit of water, and then I let them cool, and then I press them out with my hands, and then I use the juice that came from them in the water and just use a little bit of gelatin because they don't really have pectin here, and make a really good jam, so cherry jam. So that's what I'm doing now. So I thought maybe you'd like to see kind of the process. So let me tilt the camera down here so you can see what's going to be going on with my hands, I think. Let me adjust the camera here just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here I have the ones that have been cooked already. In here I have a taller bowl because it squirts out, and then within it I have a small strainer. And so I drop the seeds in the strainer, but all the juice will fall down below, and I can put that into the pot here for the jam. So basically I just take the seed and I pop it out real easy. And so putting my hands down in here keeps a lot of the juice from squirting all over the place, and it keeps it for when I'm done that I can put it in the pot. Oops. And that's just kind of the process that I go through. You get kind of quick at it, just popping out the seed really easy. Yep, it's just a matter of avoiding being squirt. Obviously, I wear what we consider work clothes here so that I'm not worried about any stains that might happen on my clothes. And so I'll do this process and get them all done, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar because, like I said, these are sweet cherries. And I'll probably blend up some of the juice with the gelatin now that it's cool. Probably do that first thing tomorrow morning, and then I'll heat it all up, and I'll cook it maybe 2 more times to make sure I can get the consistency that I want for the jam. Yesterday evening I finished up the compote with the currants, the red currants. And then this morning I finished up the jam with the black currants and some of the gooseberries and got them done. And I made a video of that. I'll be posting that on YouTube because it's a little bit longer and with the link. But I'll be doing this jam up tomorrow morning. Mark is going to be running back into the city because we weren't quite sure today the decision we were going to make about the cement benches that they're building into the columns of the outdoor kitchen. If we were going to pour cement and then put some pebbles on it, colored stones at the top to make it decorative, or if we wanted to dye the concrete. We just had to look at a couple different places, and we've settled on the dye. We're going to dye it just a brown, like a chocolate brown almost, because we'll be using wood beams and things like that, and some of the other facade of bricks and things like that. Tied all the colors in together. So he's going to run and do that tomorrow morning. And I think there was something else he needed to go get, a rebar for it, because he didn't have enough here. He couldn't remember how much he had at home. And so he'll get that tomorrow morning, and I'll probably have the guys start cutting up the oranges, taking the skin off and just cutting up the inside into pieces along with some lemons, and I'm going to make some orange and lemon marmalade. which I think will probably be a big hit here. I don't know if they have anything like that or not, but we'll try it out and get them working on that. They'll be helping me with a couple of different things. So the peaches tomorrow, once this jam is cooking, I'll have to blanch them. So that means bringing a pot of boiling water, or a pot of water to boiling, and then having a pot of cold water, and then you put the peaches into the hot water for about 30 seconds or so, and then you put it into the cold water, and the fruit inside reacts, and the skin is looser, and the fruit contracts, and you can just slide the skin right off of all those peaches. So I've got quite a few peaches that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, blanching, and then making peach jam. Some of the fruit jams can be a little bit tedious, like this sweet cherries. It just takes a little bit more work, you know, and we try and get a variety of different jams. Whoops, that one jumped out. But jams are very cheap to make. You know, you just buy the fruit when it's in season, and then the sugar. The jars we use over and over again. Of course, we buy the lids, but they're not very expensive. And during the winter, especially when we have a full house, the men eat a lot of different jams and spreads on their bread. Bread is a very big thing here, always on the table. I don't think I've ever seen it not on the table in every kind of meal. It's kind of more like a catastrophe, probably from the Holodomor, which was the forced famine that Stalin did on the Ukrainian people in the 1930s, 1932 and 1933, where millions of Ukrainians died. He just basically stole all their food and starved them to death. There's a couple films out about that. Just a lot of people don't know that genocide, basically, that happened to Ukrainians. So bread is very, very important for them. Like, here's a cultural thing, you don't throw a piece of bread onto the ground. You know, you don't throw it away. In American culture, you know, our bread is mass-produced in factories, and I mean, theirs is here too, but it just doesn't have the same meaning. Here it's just very, very important. And that history's not too old, really. So there's a lot of those cultural things here. Just because of their background, things are different. Their history, what's important to them, what's not important to them. So for another example, their culture, saving money is extremely important. Whereas in American culture, time is money. So time is very important. You want to make an American mad, you waste our time. That's not the same here. Here people will wait in line and go from office to office. They'll do anything to save a buck, you know, and part of that is, again, their history. And we had a short period of the Depression in America. Ukraine's been through several situations like that, so they really focus on that, saving money, pinching pennies. They're very good at pinching pennies. So sometimes they don't understand why Mark and I will spend a little bit of extra money just because it saves us time and effort and energy. It's just different cultures. One's not better than the other, they're just very different. So anyway, well, I'm going to finish this up. You probably don't need to sit and watch my hands work this whole time, you know, and I'll add some pictures to this video, you know, so you can see some of the things that have resulted from it. So a lot of the conserving I like to do in the evening, just because it's cooler. Oh, excuse me. And I don't have as many guys coming, you know, because they're watching TV right before they go to bed, a movie or something like that, or they go to bed. Like yesterday, I was up till midnight doing some of the conserving, and so it was really nice just having the house quiet, all to myself, really, you know, and being the only female here besides some of the animals, sometimes a girl just needs her quiet time. So anyway, that's how I do the sweet cherries, and I'll keep sharing some of this homesteading stuff with you.